and welcome to the Postmodern Art Podcast, the podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wowing the world over the platform they deserve. I am your host, Nathan Ragland, and for today's episode, I think you guys are going in for a pretty sick episode. This week's guests are members of the new independent animation team Sick Mutt, Lum and Marino. Lum is a rising voice actor with a plethora of different voices at their disposal, while Marino is an outstanding animator and a student of animation themselves, with a certain particular asphyxiation towards advertising Noid, to say the least. This was a fun conversation, one that was so much energy and just a lot of fun that I hope you guys are able to get through with every single second of this episode. If you enjoyed this dynamic duo, make sure you support them with the links down in the description below, and definitely keep up with Sick Mutt, considering the fact that they should be ramping up some of their production really soon. If you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. Leave 5 stars wherever you can. I see that stuff. I absolutely love it. If you want to go even further with that support, maybe you should consider dropping by the merch shop at pmap.creator-spring.com. There are some fantastic designs done by some outstanding artists that you need to be wearing right now. Right now. Literally, go to the shop, buy something, rep it, because it looks absolutely incredible. And hey, if you just want a place to talk more about this stuff, or talk about the artists, talk with some of the artists in fact, maybe you should consider joining the Discord server, the Artist Sanctuary. Link to that will be in the description below, because we've already developed a fun little community and would love to see you be a part of it today. But now, without further ado, please enjoy the Postmodern Art Podcast. How you say, guys? Excited, nervous, anxious, all the emotions?
I'm pretty excited, if I do say so myself.
I'm kind of nauseous, not gonna lie.
Nauseous?
Do I need
Kind of sickly.
I said, do I need to get you some, what's the Alka-Seltzer, some Gas X? I could try to send it to you. I don't know how long it'd take. I also might need an address, but I could try to help.
Please.
Again, wonderful. I'm already enjoying the vibe. So I will go ahead and give you guys a couple heads up. I apologize if you hear any background noise on my end. We have a couple of dogs that are here. You know, stuff happens. There's not much I can control. There's only so much I can control in here.
Yeah, that sounds okay. I
good.
might have some background noise, but my computer doesn't really pick up everything. So.
Yeah.
Same with me. I might have a little bit of background noise, or you might hear the cars outside. So just so you know.
You might hear the atomic bombs going off, but we're all good.
Thank God, finally!
Well, I mean, that's why I always record in a bomb shelter, all right? I'm always prepared for this kind of stuff. I'm prepared for any situation.
I need to take notes.
It's one of those, a bomb shelter should not be your last resort. A bomb shelter should be the best place possible at the end of time. So that's why I make it nice and cozy.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, Sick Mutt Animation is actually headquartered in the tapir cave at the zoo, so just so you know.
Oh, there we go. That's ingenuity right there, more than anything else. All right, Lum, Marino, before we really get the podcast going, I want to start with the icebreaker question of the podcast. Let's say you get an opportunity to go to a deserted island on your own accord. It is just you, alone with your thoughts. You get to kick back, relax, breathe, get to truly just enjoy yourselves for a little bit. To help make sure you don't go completely insane on this island, because it is like accommodations and stuff. I'm not like throwing you on some random pile of sand in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. You will be comfortable here. But to help with these vibes, you get to bring one piece of media or one piece of art with you to help go with whatever vibe you're trying to go for. If given this opportunity, what would that one piece be?
Lum, you go first.
Thank you very much for inviting me on the podcast. I really would like to bring Bobby's Genie Adventure from the Game Boy Color with me. I could just have fun, just playing that for hours and hours, and I'll never get bored of it. I don't even care if like crabs come up to me and nip my skin off. I don't care. I just would play Bobby's Magical Genie Adventure for the Game Boy Color all day. Yeah.
I did not expect that explosion of a response, but thank you. Do you care to elaborate on why specifically that game?
I would probably actually bring that game so that way I wouldn't be if just in case say like I want to get off the island one day, I could just like use it as like a flying carpet, and then just like build like a flying carpet out of like crabs and like sand, and then like just fly off the island to, I don't know, Detroit.
Detroit specifically.
Yeah.
Why would you
I
go?
don't know where else.
Would you...
I don't know where.
You go.
I would go to Detroit because it would be the last place you would expect me to go.
Whoa.
Well, it'll
Bazinga.
also probably be the last place you'll be because you get there and they'll try to steal that flying carpet made out of crabs.
That's okay. I could just steal a car and drive my way back home. So there you go.
Well, there you go. There you go. And Marino, what about you?
Mine is less funny. I really can't function without music, so I would bring my entire Frank Zappa CD collection.
You know what? Sorry. You know what? I should have expected that, knowing some of the stuff that you've done animations for or whatnot. I have to ask right off the bat, because you did just bring it up. What is it about Frank Zappa that just like gets to you, like connects with you on a personal level?
I think so. It's kind. I also really like underground comics from the 70s, and he's kind of like the music version of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't even like begin to describe what I like about him. He's just like a pure genius. And he has such a unique style.
I mean, that's valid, and I think a lot of people, at least, you know, after the fact, after everything's all said and done, I think they can agree with you on that, with some of the stuff that he's able to bring. I know at the time he was like, one of the most unpopular figures or whatnot, because his stuff was just like that out there, I guess. So
yeah, he was Mothers of Invention started in like the 60s, and they were very anti-hippie movement. So not too popular.
Yeah, there you go. But so the Frank Zappa collection and Bobby's Genie World, correct me if that's
Barbie's Genie World.
Barbie's
Genie World.
Barbie's Genie World.
Generate Charlton God.
I am so sorry. For that miscommunication right there. But Barbie's Genie World and the Frank Zappa collection, those are your guys' answers. You're locking that in.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, then. If that's the case, I cannot think of a better way to start the Postmodern Art Podcast. Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Nathan Ragland. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. You can support the podcast on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/PMAP. And follow us on Twitter and Instagram at PostmodArtPod for future updates and guest announcements, including today's guests. They are the dynamic duo behind the animation team Sick Mutt, one being a rising voice actor with a range of voices and impressions at their disposal, the other an animator with a plethora of unique characters and an obsession with a certain Noid. Welcome to the podcast, Lum and Marino!
I was clapping, but it didn't pick it up.
I know I said this before, but the energy you guys are already exuding when we had just started the podcast. Oh, I hope this carries through, because I'm already loving it. Once again, thank you guys for making the time to be here today. I really do appreciate it. I know I initially asked Marino to be on here, but Marino had such wonderful words about Lum to where I knew I had to have both of you guys on to really talk about what you guys are creating and the stuff you're pushing out there. But before we really divulge into that, I want to go back just a little bit, if I may. I want to know more or less the origin story of you guys. What got you both interested in art and animation in the first place?
I think I'll go first this time. So, I actually, for my teen years, I was drawing anime, like every other teen. But then, I saw like a page on Instagram in like 2016, and they would just post like clips of old Betty Boop cartoons, and I was really drawn to it that I just like researched everything about it and started watching every old cartoon I could find.
Okay, you know, that's a good start, especially just like the history of animation alone. And I know we'll definitely divulge a little bit into that, because in fact that, correct me if I'm wrong, you take a lot of inspiration from the history of animation.
Yes,
it's a good strong foundation. Lum, how about yourself? What got you interested in art and animation in the first place?
I think because, of course, I may market myself as a voice actor, I guess, but I do draw on occasion, and I really started, I don't know, I don't want to say I started young. I would say maybe like 8 or 9, because I was like a I was going through a phase. I was an edgy teen, so I drew edgy stuff. Like who else didn't? But it was actually because of people like Marino, where I started to like develop my own style and take inspiration from things that I liked when I was a kid, instead of like stuff that makes me seem cool or edgy, I guess. So I guess that's why. Yeah.
I sorry for interrupting, but
Oh, no worries.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember like in 2017 or something, you just DM'd me asking to be friends, and then we started talking. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
There you go.
Because I liked your art so much, I was like, wow, this person is very social and they have a cool style. I want to be friends with that person.
Amazing.
I'm gonna say I haven't been a fan of that long, but I can certainly get where Lum is coming from more than anything else, because the first instant I saw of your art, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I fell in love with it instantly. And again, I'll definitely divulge a lot more into that later, but
Thank you so much, though.
oh, no problem. Trust me, again, you're gonna get a lot more compliments with stuff. Both of you guys are gonna get a lot more compliments from me. I promise you that.
Thank you.
But I want to know, like, when did it go from just like a general love for the arts and animation and such to a passion of wanting to make it your career?
Lum, do you want to take a turn?
Sure. I think the main thing that we wanted to, like, when we started, like, thinking, like, okay, we want to, like, really go into this, is because, we had both noticed that Marino has been making, like, small little animations on their Instagrams and Twitters for a little while now, and so I thought, I don't know who came up with the idea. Was it I think it was either me or you, who were like, okay, well, we have these animations, and it's a very good style, very fluid. We just thought, okay, well, what if people want to see this? Like real, like, full-length animation. And so it started out as at first as like a joke. And we were like, oh yeah, we'll start our own animation company, deeper on the industry, huh? But then we were like, oh, well, we could actually probably do this. And like,
yeah, we could pull it off.
We have a crew. Marino has followers. So,
Yeah.
And we were like, all right, well, we'll just get a couple of these people that we really like, and some other people who helped us along the way, and we'll just be like, all right, we'll start the animation company.
Yeah, that's how I remember it too. Like, I remember we would joke about it at first, but then it's like, oh, that's a good idea.
Yep. I mean, especially nowadays with the internet or whatnot, like, being able to go out there and actually produce your own independent animation, it's not, well, it's still very, 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 very difficult, but it's not as hard as everyone makes it out to be.
Yeah.
And gotta start somewhere, you know?
Exactly. I know that for both of you, like, you guys have certainly got a good foundation with some of this stuff. I know, what was it, like, we've been talking, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I am both nervous and excited when it comes to this conversation. I've been really excited for this for a long time. I don't know why I'm getting so tongue-tied about this. But, all right, I got this. No, it's wonderful knowing that, like, there's this good foundation, like, with both of you. I know, especially with Lum, I definitely want to divulge a lot more into you right now, because I know for you, like, the main thing for you, at least that I've noticed, you can correct me if I'm wrong, voice acting. You're a voice actor, or yeah, you are a voice actor, and I've been excited to hear some of the stuff that you had handed. What got you interested in wanting to go into that in the first place?
I think something that really, like, wanted me to, like, get into, say, voice acting and, like, making like myself for it is, like, I see all these, like, wonderful voice actors, like, on the internet, and they have a really good voice, and even, like, it just simply started out as, like, me doing, like, small little impressions at school, and then I thought to myself, I was like, oh, wow, I have a really weird malleable voice. Maybe I could be a voice actor.
Oh, there you go.
And like, I started making, like, little small videos, like, on Twitter or, like, Instagram, like, where I would just, like, dub stupid memes, and then I would get, like, maybe, like, 1,000 likes, and I'd be like, oh my god, I could do this, like, full time, or, like, I could be a voice actor.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Can you remember some of the first voice actors that you saw that made you realize, oh yeah, I could totally do this? Like, anyone that you could think of or shout out?
I think, well, one of them I noticed a lot is Gamer Duck.
Yes.
Gamer Duck, I know, does a lot of really awesome voices, and I really wanted to try and like sort of like emulate his style, but I don't want to like take too much from it. I mean,
Right.
my main avatar is a duck, but I mean like I don't really like use it as like, oh, I'm trying to rip off gamer duck sort of thing. But I also really look toward more professional voice actors like Eric Bauza or say like Billy West. Even those are really big inspirations for me when it comes to
What
voice
about
acting.
Charlie Adler?
And Charlie Adler too.
There you
I
go.
mentioned Charlie Adler. Charlie Adler is probably my biggest inspiration for me because he literally. It's the thing I really like about him is that he can take like literally he can find like the perfect voice for like any character imaginable and make it work. Like he's like this super tall, like really sort of like he looks like he would sound like really gruff, like really deep voice, but then he like switches into like the cow voice, and it's like, oh my god, this is the same guy.
Yes. Oh my god. I was thinking like literally just like cow and chicken, just like how many voices has he done for that show alone? I mean, let's be honest.
He did all three of the main characters
Yep.
and Baboon and I Am Weasel.
Yep. And I mean that, like, you want to talk about like legends, like people give a lot of praise when it comes to the likes of like Rob Paulson, Maurice LaMarche, Phil Lamar, and obviously they deserve their respect. But like, I feel like Charlie Adler deserves a lot more love and respect, in my opinion.
Yes, very much so. Another person I really like, I think deserves a lot more respect, is Carlos Ellis-Rocky.
Yes.
Ellis-Rocky was a really big inspiration of mine because he was a fellow Latino voice actor like me, but also because I wanted to sort of he also was like Charlie Adler in a way, like where he could find like the perfect voice for any character and make it stick, but he also had like a way of somehow like shifting his like vocal cords around for like making sure like you switch to the Crocker voice, or you switch to the Taco Bell voice, or you switch to like the Walden voice, and like they all sound like completely different, and it's like I really wanted to try to recreate that, I guess.
As someone that has also attempted to get into voice acting himself, seeing guys like that and seeing the range that they have, it makes me it both encourages me and frightens me that I don't know if I can hit those.
I want to hit those notes. Maybe if I get a surgery, I can do it.
There you go. just go to Charlie Adler and just be like, hey, look, you're a wonderful voice actor. Do you think we can get surgery to where we can switch like vocal cords or whatnot? Because I really just want to have what you got.
Can I just have one? Can I just have one little piece? Just one little
Just
piece?
1 little inch.
Just give me the devil voice. That's all I'm asking, at the very least.
Just give me. I don't care. Just give me Ickis. Give me Buster Bunny. I don't care. I'll even take the one guy you did for Mighty Mutanimals. I don't care.
Oh my goodness. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but you probably like the same line as me, as one of those, like, if there's like a voice actor that like of or whatnot, you want to like dive in as much as possible and see just about everything they've had a hand in or everything they've had a voice in one aspect for another.
Yes, very much so.
Ah, Jesus. Like, especially like, again, I know that like obviously the first thing that comes to me is obviously gonna be Rob Paulson. That's probably because he's been able to market himself, I guess, the best when it comes to that stuff, like being able to be more open with that stuff, like his own podcast they had, or the appearances like in person or whatnot. But like, good lord, like just even looking at his resume, even the stuff that he doesn't talk about, like, good lord, I'm envious of voice actors. That's why I love talking to you right now.
Oh, thank you.
I was gonna say is, I imagine that especially just that you're really getting into this and really going all in, like, it must be incredible, like, just even playing around with like some voices here and there and trying to figure out like where your range is and what you're able to do. Like, it has to be a fun process sometimes.
It's a very fun process. The thing that like we typically do is that like when we're like scripting for a project, Marino, like they come up to me and they're like, hey, I want you to do like the voice for this character, and I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do? And they send me like a little like sort of like 30-second, maybe like 40-second video of the characters and like a slideshow of like a voice, like a voice that they like associate with the character. Like, say for one of the characters, it was, I believe, the poodle from Schnookums and Meat, and so
yes.
and so they're like, oh, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll do the poodle from Schnookums and Meat for this character, and then like it's fun like trying to like watching a bunch of clips and then like trying to like nail the voice like perfectly, I guess.
No, I totally get that. What was it? There's one performance that I did. It was for like an independent video game, and the main reference that the guy gave me is, if you ever seen the show Lost, like the doctor that they had for like some of the training videos for whatnot. That was like the main inspiration. I'm like, okay, I could certainly try. It was a voice I'd never done before, but lo and behold, I soon became Dr. F, Chief of Lunite Research. It's always yeah. Sorry, go on.
Oh no, I'm sorry. And then it's like really fun because like then you get to like hear it back and it's like, oh wow, I did that voice and it like and it feels so good. It feels like you nailed it first try, and then like you wake up the next morning and you listen to it again and you're like, God, this sucks, and then you do it again.
It's a cycle. It's a cycle.
Very vicious cycle.
Goodness. I mean, you've had some like interesting opportunities like already beforehand. Like on top of working with Marino, I at least saw based on your Twitter, you got a chance to work with I guess Trusty NG or Trusty Cranberry Cartoons or whatnot.
Yes. We were working on Reality Bites, and I had came up because I had came up with a script for like a small little episode, and Trusty wrote it out, and I legitimately like came to his house in Australia with on my hands and knees like please let me voice someone funny on the show. And so I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about who I play at the moment, but it's a small role. But
okay. Well,
I don't know a thing about Trusty, so just so you know, I do that. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep cutting you off.
No. I mean, to be fair, again, we're talking on an internet show. Cutting into each other is probably gonna be par for the course one way or another. But but no, it's one of those like I imagine I wouldn't say NDA because it's independent, but nevertheless, like it must be incredible because I've actually been seeing some of their stuff. They recently followed me not too long ago on Twitter, so hopefully, if they're enjoying the podcast, hi. Pleasure to get to talk to you. You're more than welcome to come on the podcast at some point. Just get in touch with me. But nevertheless, like it's incredible. Like even just like with Reality Bites, you can attest to this. Getting a chance to voice on the show. That just looks like a fun show with so much potential more than anything else.
Yes. Trusty is a very good animator. I only did like one. Wait, I was what is it called? I did like a keyframe for the PD's invention short.
Oh,
I was very busy, so I didn't do anything else.
Still, getting the chance to be involved in the first place, again, like especially with what little is already out there with Reality Bites, like again, the potential that show has me excited more than anything else.
Very much so. It's a great show. Trusty, get on the show right now. I don't care what it takes.
Come here right now.
There you go. Now, you kind of already mentioned this, but again, we talked about getting the chance to work with these incredible people, and obviously, you're getting a chance to work with Marino here. So I have to know, like, obviously, you start off with a DM. What made you? How did you first hear of Marino, and what made you want to like work with them?
Quite literally, I'm not joking you with this. I literally just saw Marino's art on my Explore page, and I was like, holy crap. And I looked at the page, and then I was just like, oh my god, I need to work with this person right now!
Oh my god.
So literally, it was just a chance reaction, like a chance encounter, like it's one of those spark plug moments, and I'm really, really grateful for that experience.
Oh, I can only...
I'm glad you DM'd me.
Yeah, then I DM'd you, and I'm just really grateful that your art appeared on my Explore page, because to be honest, if it didn't, I wouldn't be here today.
I'll say I'm pretty sure that's fairly similar to how I first heard of you, Marino, or at least it was one of those, like, I was scrolling through the timeline, and you know how Instagram likes to recommend, like an artist here and there or whatnot, like recommend like a random post that someone did. I'm pretty sure that's how I first heard of you more than anything else. So
you found me through Instagram?
I think it was Instagram. It was either Instagram or Twitter, one of the two. Either way, it was one of those, like, it was just something that was recommended to me. But yeah, for once in our lives, I can say thank the algorithm for showing us incredible art.
It's so like surreal to me that my stuff like shows up on the Explore page for other people. Like I only expect my followers to see my dumb, stupid art.
My dumb, stupid, and ugly and two-faced
and art. My Noid animations.
Oh, trust me, we're gonna divulge into that at some point. I have to know, Lum, from what you have been able to do so far. I know, again, you're just really getting into this with, I guess, sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, over 2 years of experience at this point.
Yes.
I have to know, like, what has been like your favorite moment so far on this voice acting journey so far?
Probably my favorite moment on this voice acting journey was working with Marino on a project. Wait, am I allowed to plug this or not?
I don't know which one you're talking about. But you could probably.
You have to be specific.
The one with the two characters. The one with the two characters. The Dippy and Buttface.
Oh yeah. You can share.
My favorite moment was working with Marino on the Dippy and Buttface cartoon, and we were like discussing like, oh, what should he sound like? And Marino sent me sort of like a voice like reel, like I saying like, oh, Buttface should sound like Pith Possum's sidekick Obadiah.
Yes.
And then I was like, okay, well, I've never watched Pith Possum, so I guess I now have an excuse to watch it. So I watched it, and then I loved it, and Marino somehow got me obsessed with a show because of a voice acting reel, and I'm pretty happy for that, not gonna lie. Because Buttface is probably one of my favorite characters to do, just like voice acting for.
Well, there you go. And I also have to ask, again, you're a voice actor that's always trying to perfect their craft in one aspect for another. Is there a voice, or at least a dream role that you have in mind that you would love to tackle at some point and love to get the opportunity to really, like, sink your teeth into?
Well, that I don't know, but if I had, like, a dream voice, it would honestly probably be either Felix the Cat or Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, those are two characters.
Very valid.
Because those are two characters that I think you could take like in so many directions and like so many possibilities that like you don't really know what to do. Like for Sonic, you could try to go from like a Julia White or Roger Craig Smith or not Justin Roiland. What's his name? Ryan Drummond, yeah. Ryan Drummond. Or for Felix, you could go for like an older sounding voice, like with Walter Tetley or the one from the '60s show. Or you could do probably the one I would do is the Charlie Adler voice. Yep. That's the only voice I hear for him.
I was gonna say like just with the '90s Felix the Cat show. I mean, what? How many voices did he go through at that point? Like 2 or 3 different ones.
I think he went through like 4 or 5.
The freaking don't get me started on Twisted Tales. That's the best show in the universe.
That's our main inspiration. We hold a Twisted Tales plaque above the Sick Mutt garbage can.
I mean, trust me, if that's certainly an inspiration, I would definitely love to divulge into it because it's one of those like it is a show that I've seen so many funny moments for, but I want to get the opportunity to sit down and just watch it because it looks like just so much fun more than anything else.
Amazing.
You should. It's all on YouTube. You should totally watch it.
I mean, again,
it's so good.
It was one of those like freaking out of context like Felix the Cat Twitter accounts when like those out of context accounts was like the biggest thing on the internet for the longest time, and like just seeing like the clips that showed offer or whatnot, it just makes me watch and be like, you're telling me no one watched this? There had to be some people that watched it because it looks fun. It looks funny. It looks hilarious.
Me and Marino were actually the only ones who watched it.
I am Mr. Gatekeeper. I don't want more people to find it. Well, that's a bad way of saying it, but I don't want like people to ruin it like they did with like the rubber hose art style.
Fair. But I mean, at the same time, like, you think you could just let one more person? Just me. That's all.
Yeah, I'm letting you go. Okay. No one else.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Well, Lum, I just gotta say, I love being able to talk about voice acting and stuff, but I think you could agree with me whenever I say that as incredible as it is doing voice acting, without an animation, all you are doing is just doing voices, which is still fun. So I definitely want to talk to Marino now, and I want to get as far in and peer inside your head as much as possible. It might be a dangerous task considering how many like random things that we could be bouncing off the walls with. So I will start with the base level question. What is it about animation that creatively gets you going?
I think just like you can do like literally anything with it. Like in movies, you can't really bonk your own head with a caveman club and go awooga. Okay, you can't do that. But in animation, you can, and that's freaking epic.
It's true.
I was gonna say, I know you definitely take a lot of inspiration from animation. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Just about every single era of animation that ever exists.
Yeah, like I am mainly inspired by like Golden Age stuff, but like I do this thing where if I start watching a show, then I start imitating the art style.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I watch Powerpuff Girls, I'll start drawing more angular. I just really like mimicking art styles.
I mean, there you go. I mean, I know some of the like, especially seeing some of the art that you've done and the animation that you've done. I can like pick and choose like so many different things. Like I see a lot of stuff from like you said the golden era or whatnot. I see a lot of stuff from like the classic, the original like 30s or whatnot, like the Betty Boop that you were talking about. I can see a lot of the physicality that you would see in like 60 or like 60s and 70s, like a Tom and Jerry-esque kind of thing, like the physicality that goes into it. I get a lot of like the rubber hose animation or whatnot that you like to implement in some of your stuff. I get a lot of the attitude and snarkiness from the 90s cartoons. I see a lot of your stuff. Does it ever sorry, say that again.
The Yakko Warner pose.
The Yakko Warner pose is definitely a good start. Does it ever amaze you just how much information of animation you've been able to obtain in your art?
I don't think I really like processed it because I have like a ton of art books like that I used to just read like nonstop. So like the most I know about is Fleischer because that's my main inspiration.
Okay.
But I have a lot of like Warner Bros. Books. Like I have like a whole shelf of them. I really like collecting them.
Oh, trust me, I'm already envying you when it comes to that because I mean, especially like just the Warner animation or whatnot. Like, good, goddamn. Like again, it has to like. How should I word this next one? What would you say is some of like the strongest influence on your art?
I would say definitely Fleischer, but also what I call faux rubber hose from the 90s or 70s to 90s. Or like these artists that had previously worked in underground comics were mimicking stuff that they probably grew up with. It's like, because you know how like rubber hose has like returned as like a bandwagon art style?
Sadly, yes.
Yeah, there's like no like genuineness to it because you can tell that these people don't really have a love for the art form. They're just chasing trends. And you can really tell when someone has like actually sat down and watched material and tried their best to like take what worked best out of an era and then like go with something new. I have a lot of opinions on this, but I'll keep it at that.
Hey, this is a podcast. You can talk as long as you want about these opinions or whatnot. But I will say, like, I can sort of get where you're getting from a certain aspect. Like, I know I can tell when some points where it's actually genuine. Like, honestly, like the most recent example that I could think of is like the Cuphead show. You can tell that there's a lot of love that goes into some of the like the classic era stuff while still keeping it somewhat modern, I guess. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
So Cuphead was obviously inspired by Fleischer, but they also have like it's very obviously their own stuff thrown into. So it's not like they're just like copying a studio from the 30s and not adding anything like new to it.
Right. I mean, more than anything else, like concerned the fact the source material from it gives a lot for that creativity of original content to really flow from it more than anything else.
Yes, Fleischer stuff was very surreal and rubber hosey, like literally, like they move like rubber hoses.
Yeah, yep. Which is, if you were to describe the stuff for me, for some reason, rubber hose was never the name that I associated with it until I saw the name rubber hose. I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm surprised. I'm a little bit slower when it comes to how to process things on the internet. So it's like, whenever I saw rubber hose animation, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Well, like rubber hose is like what the animation style is called, like how it moves, but like the actual art style, I would generalize it as the Golden Age art style, but since I am a disgusting cartoon fan, I usually like specify which studio I'm talking about, like the Fleischer art style or Columbia art style.
You know what? That's
Very much. I think sorry to interject on this point, but
go on.
I think a lot of it also has to do with, say, certain directors or like animators, because
Yeah.
what you were saying beforehand, like Cuphead is like inspired by like the Fleischer era cartoons. I've always seen it more inspired by like the old, like the color, like like older Merry Melodies or like older Looney Tunes, not like the ones featuring like a Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck or Porky
Right.
Pig or something like that. More like the ones like way beforehand, like featuring like Bosco or like Buddy or some of
Or
the other
Foxy.
or Foxy, yeah. And I think of those when I think of Cuphead because it feels like more polished than the
Yeah,
Fleischer
that's
style.
true.
If it was like the
Yes.
Fleischer style, then they would be like a lot
They would
more
be
simply designed.
constantly off model.
Yeah, they would be very constantly off model. They would be like flailing around in like really weird shapes. They'd be like transforming into stuff, which they do in game, but I think like that's like kind of like they got like the general idea. But I think that, you know, with animation like that, you have like you can really tell of like who drew what. Like you can probably differentiate like like Marino was saying, you could differentiate like a Fleischer cartoon from a Columbia one or a Disney one or a Warner one or Van Buren, very much so. And
Oh,
I
Van
think that
Buren, I forgot about that. That's also one of my big inspirations.
yeah, I love Van Buren.
There
But
you go.
like I was saying, I think that's what really like you have to like differentiate between them, so that way you can be like, oh, that's a Fleischer. But unfortunately, because you know we both live in basements, we have to know this.
That's a good point. It's definitely more polished because I'm sure they could if they want to, but like if Cuphead really wanted to like look like something straight out of the 30s, that part of what makes like 30s animation unique is that they were still, even though animation like Winsor McKay's stuff was like in the 1910s or something, 1920s, but they were still like nailing down the art style, and like they didn't really know how to animate. I'm sorry, that sounds mean. Like it like I said, like things go off model, and sometimes they have 5 fingers, sometimes they have 4, but that's like part of the charm of it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, this was like at the beginning of beginning of film in general or whatnot. So like, mistakes like that are bound to happen more than anything else. And like you said, it has that good charm of like people just like trying to make something happen more than anything else. I also gotta say, I'm not gonna lie, going into this interview, I knew I was gonna get a lot of like cartoon history and stuff like that. I did not realize I was with 2 experts on this stuff. I was gonna say,
We're both very good cartoon experts.
I was saying, how much of this was stuff that you originally knew, and how much of it did you just absorb from Marino from being around them so much?
I knew a bit of it beforehand. Like I knew how to differentiate, say like Fleischer cartoons from like Warner ones. But like when I got with Marino, I like learned more of like the more intricate parts of like how they went off model or how inconsistent they were. And I think you could really see that a lot just by kind of like looking at it from a different lens. Like if you look at like for example, Swing You Sinners like in a different way. I know Marino's favorite cartoon is very obscure, but if you look at like Swing You Sinners in like a different way and like looking at like the perspective of they're just beginning animation, it sort of like adds to that, like, because people like to bring out, it's kind of scary, and like
it's kind of spooky.
It's kind of spooky, not gonna lie, but
better retweet.
But I think like if you look at it like in a different way of like, they're just starting out animation, like you could see how like they were trying to nail like that sort of like scary setting down, and even like today with all that like analog horror stuff, like you can see the definite inspiration from stuff like Swing You Sinners or like Bimbo's Initiation or even like some of the earlier stuff.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's again, I am a nerd. I try to be a nerd too or whatnot. So hearing this kind of stuff or whatnot, like I'm just eating it all up. I am just consuming as much as I can get. But I gotta say, I love how we're talking about all this, like, I'm not gonna say sophisticated stuff, but all this like interesting history and all this like, you know, differences between studios or whatnot. And like, obviously it's a major influence for you, but there's a particular character that I definitely want to divulge into that I feel like is one of the biggest inspirations for you. What is your obsession with the Noid, Marino?
He is so awesome and epic and quirky. I'll start from the beginning. I was I have ADHD and I'm also autistic, so I hyperfixate on things.
Okay.
And I was very obsessed at McDonald Land characters one time. And so I was just like browsing images of them on Google. And then I think they like recommended me a picture of the Noid, and I looked at it and I was like, oh. And then I went down the Noid hole, as one would say.
Noid hole.
The domino dimension.
The domino dimension.
I went to the Noid void.
I was gonna say I would prefer domino dimension over the Noid hole. I don't like the implications that makes.
We were actually going to call our cartoon studio Noid Hole Enterprises. Shut down.
Like, I feel like with the Noid hole, I'm just gonna hear the Noid at the top going, "Hey, rubs the lotion on skin, or else it gets the hose again." I'm sorry if I'm ruining the Noid for you. That's just the implication of that.
Oh, people have ruined the Noid numerous times, but I am unfazed.
I admire your dedication more than anything else. But back to the original point, like, again, like, okay, so you got that first exposure to the Noid. Now, it's one thing to be exposed to the character, but what was it about the character that you just, like, clapped onto it and tried to make it your own?
Okay, so there's like several factors. It's like a lightning in a bottle situation here.
Okay.
So I don't know why, but I'm drawn to like food mascots and stuff. So that was the first one. And then the next are like character tropes that I like. I like when like furry characters kind of lean towards being like humanoid
Okay.
rather than an animal. So they look kind of uncanny. I like that for some reason. I like when they I like when characters have like bunny ears, but they're not like explicitly a bunny.
Right.
It's so strange to like actually like word this, but and then he has cool shoes. He has cartoon gloves. He just makes funny noises instead of talking.
Yep.
And he is fueled by hate for pizza.
I didn't realize that, you know, I mean, I obviously knew about the Noid. I mean, I remember seeing at least a couple of the commercials, like, growing up. I think it was a little bit out of my range whenever I was growing up, when, like, it was starting to, you know, die off, I guess, in this case, before they brought it back randomly for that one, like, what, 2021 commercial or something like that.
They brought it back for NFTs.
Oh,
so sad.
I didn't realize it was for an NFT. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they started the commercials and they started a Twitter account, and then the Twitter account started posting about NFTs, and then I immediately unfollowed.
They responded to Marino's art.
Yeah.
They now.
Yeah, they did.
That must have been surreal more than anything else.
Yeah, I had the Noid reply to me on Twitter. Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, no, it's not the characters. No, it's not all the incredible art that you've done. No, the Noid is the main reason why I wanted to bring you here, because the Noid responded to you on Twitter.
Yes. I peeked at the Noid Twitter situation.
Oh, goodness. Like, I have to say, once again, I admire your dedication when it comes to this character, because I have seen on Twitter you posting your collection of Noid, just like memorabilia or whatnot. Good lord. Like, there has to be some Guinness World Record holder out there that has to look at that. Oh, Jesus. I'm back. I think I should be back. Am I back? Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, you're
Yes.
back.
Okay.
Yes.
People are wondering if I'm back. I'm thinking I'm back.
I'm thinking I'm back because the Noid, that little rascal, that little demon, he cut the stream.
They heard me talking too much about the Noid hole. Anyways, back to what I was saying. No, again, based on Twitter, I have seen your collection of just Noid memorabilia. There has to be, like, some Guinness World Record, like, you know, expert out there, something like that, that has to, like, come to your house at some point and just look at that and give you the record for the largest Noid collection. Can you think of it, like... I once again, I admire your dedication and love for this character more than anything else. Like, it has to be amazing, like, just seeing how much is actually dedicated to the Noid, how much merch is made for the Noid.
Yes, he was so there's like conflicting accounts, because I've researched the Noid, let me tell you what. I read like articles from the time.
What gave it away?
I've made research pieces on the Noid.
But so there's articles from the time that like according to them like the Noid's like popularity was overshadowed by the California raisins, but that doesn't really make sense because there's so much Noid merchandise.
Yeah.
Like I don't even have like a third of it. I think like there's stuff that I really want that I'm watching on eBay. I'm watching it.
I was gonna say, do you at least own like the NES game or the SNES game that they came out for it or whatnot?
No, I've been watching a few on eBay. I don't want to spend too much money because of Sick Mutt. I want to save some money for that.
Right, obviously.
Yeah, but one of the main Noid things on my wish list is the 6-foot Noid plush.
Oh goodness!
And there's only like a handful of them out there, and on eBay I freaking I bought like a 5-foot one, but then I got a refund because they couldn't ship it for some reason. I'm so sad.
Then why would they list it? They can't ship it.
I don't know.
There's a scam out there. I tell you, they're trying to keep the Noid away from me.
The Noid market is rigged.
The Pizza Hut guys are watching.
Yeah.
They're trying to get every money out of you because of their competition. Goodness. But, going back to obviously, like, with that being a major inspiration, all the inspirations that we're talking about, I imagine, like, obviously that is a great foundation for some of the art you've been able to produce more than anything else. I have to know, once again, peering inside your brain for just a second, what is the process for you when it comes from having an idea for a piece of art or a cartoon to drawing it out and making it reality?
So like, people usually get their ideas when they're in the shower, but for me, it's like when I'm just lying in bed, and then I'm like, "Oh, idea!" and then I race to my desk at 500 miles per hour.
It's a good start.
It's like, yeah, it's really simple. Something shoots like into my brain, and then I go to my desk and sketch it out and stuff.
There you go. And one of the things I do appreciate, I don't know if it's with all your stuff, but I know with a good chunk of your stuff, is I appreciate the fact that you're still trying to do like the physical art, like the actual sketching and stuff. I don't know if you do that with all of your art, but I know like seeing some of the pencil drawn animations that you've done, like even just like the rough sketches and whatnot. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous just to see it.
Thank you. Animating on paper is so much easier for me than digital.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And obviously, like, all those led to some incredible characters that you've been able to spawn out of that. So I'm going to run down the list of a good couple of them, because I imagine if I tried to get to every single one, this would again be the endless podcast more than anything else.
Yes.
So I want to talk with the ones that I think I became first familiar with, and one of the ones that I just love the chemistry these two had with each other, and that is Smokey and Floral. What was the inspiration behind those characters?
Okay, so I mentioned how I really like Van Buren, and he made a character called Cubby Bear.
Okay.
And I really like those cartoons. So Smokey is mainly based on Cubby Bear, but also like bits and pieces of other cartoon characters from the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like Smokey is very much based on me. Because I made him when I was like 14 or something.
Okay.
And he's a little stupid non-binary autistic bee that runs around and harasses people. That's just me. That's literally me. And then Floral is based on like, there's like these vintage like ceramic wall hanging decorations from like the 50s that have like little cute faces on the flowers. I just really like those. So, and I thought it was a good idea to pair him up with a flower, because do you get it? It's like a flower and a bee.
Yes, no way.
That was the number one revelation for me.
Wait, really?
Well, I've had people that like I've had people that DM me and are like, I just got the flower and the bee thing. And I'm like, ooh.
I think I got that like almost instantly, but I guess I'm different than some people. I don't know, but nevertheless, like again, just seeing like the dynamic these two, especially Floral, like just being just like basically being just a bossy, just how should I word this? An aspiring serial killer, I think would probably be the best way to describe Laurel.
Yeah. I just think like she's kind of an outlet for like all my manic energy, which makes sense. But I think it's like her hypocrisy is the most funny to me. Like she'll like beat the shit out of Smokey and be like, no violence in cartoons.
Oh, goodness. And again, like I said, just the dynamic between those two, that's incredible. And another two-character dynamic that I absolutely just love and cannot get enough of whenever you do get to draw them and animate them, Boingo and Danny. Look, those two, those two are like a special kind of shithead. Those two are special kind of shitheads.
Yeah, they're very obviously based on Oingo Boingo because I am a disgusting nerd. But I think Boingo is really funny. I'm laughing at like my own concepts.
Hey, if nothing else, that means that you love and appreciate them if you can laugh at them.
I kind of like recycle this character like dynamic of like one beating the shit out of each other. like Danny like just decimates Boingo all the time. I think that's really funny.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, you guys say something, Lim?
I don't know if this is kind of like related or not, but also I kind of forgot to mention earlier, Boingo is like another one of my favorite characters to voice.
Yes.
Oh.
Cause we were doing like a music video and like I did Boingo's voice on call, like on a call we did, and Marino was like, so what do you want me to do for Boingo? I'm like, I want you to do a shitty Peter Lorre impression. and so I was like, oh okay, I'll give it a shot. Yeah, Boingo, you want me to get you some McDonald's? And then Marino was like laughing their ass off so much.
That especially seeing Boingo, knowing how they look, that's perfect. That's flawless. Fuck yeah. I guess bravo to you more than anything else.
Thank you.
Goodness, I was gonna say, I know at least for me, like when it comes to seeing their dynamic, what was it, the one like music video I guess he kind of did for, what was the song called, Sad or whatnot, just
So bad.
Oh, so bad. My bad. Just like seeing just like the creativity that you had with that one, and seeing just like how Danny was beating the shit up of Boingo or whatnot was wonderful.
Yeah, I would want to do like more music clips, but I have Sick Mutt to focus on.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And of course, like there's another like group of characters that I've only seen like little bits and here and there and whatnot, but it's a group. I don't know if they're related to Smokey and Flora, but it's like, you know, Doodad, Thingabob, What's It, like that group or whatnot.
Yeah, so we had like an idea for like, I don't know what they're called, but like the Schnookums and Meat like format where they have like the main show and then they have like a sort of like a side plot, but they get
like
their own
a variety hour.
Yeah, like or like Animaniacs. So that would be the bunny mob part of Smokey's show. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, inspired I guess obviously, like you said, it was the variety hour kind of stuff. Like, what exactly inspired the characters themselves?
So those were, I think at the time I was watching. What was I watching? I think I was watching like Ralph Bakshi stuff.
Okay.
Mainly Street Fight, which, like, you can have your opinion on that. It's, in my opinion, it's not very good, but I do like how he draws like suits and stuff. I really like drawing like skinny men in big suits. That's something I like doing. And I forgot the other. Oh yes, I was also watching the 1960s Dick Tracy cartoon, which is also very bad. But for some reason, I watch it. It's really bad. Don't watch it. But I was inspired by it because I really like the art style. And I think the third one was Freakazoid, I think.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Yes.
There's the one that I can instantly latch on to because that was one of my favorite shows like growing up. Like, good lord.
Yeah, I think out of like Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, and Freakazoid, it's definitely the best.
Agreed. Ah, goodness. And I'm just gonna say, like, just out of that group and the dynamics that I have seen and whatnot, I personally like a little smug asshole, so I'm gonna say Thingamabob has to be my favorite so far. From what
Yeah.
I just,
People like what's it or thing and the thingamababa. However you say it.
I was saying you named the character. How could you not pronounce her name? No, I'm joking. I just gotta say, what was it? The one clip. I don't know what the original voice it was, or the original clip of it was, but just are you done? Good, because I really want to tell you this idea. Like that clip that you did right there was chef's kiss.
Thank you. Yeah, that's from Danger Rangers. It's very obviously Rob Paulson doing the voice because I really like his work.
Yep. It just reminds me also, like I say the Rob Paulson again, but also just the voice that you had. What was it? The Rob Paulson's voice in something that you did for like a Noid animation as well. Like again,
Yes.
wonderful.
Yeah, that's also from Danger Rangers. I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
You have no idea how much I relate to that. That happens to me so much, especially on this podcast.
I was gonna say, I think the alternate voice for Thingamabob that I have was Mark Hamill.
Fair.
His mainly his voice for Tweaky in the Woody Woodpecker show from the 90s.
Okay.
But he also does the same voice for a character of Bruno the Kid.
You know what? Fair enough. That's a good. It's a good dream role more than anything else for to have him doing that kind of stuff. But and of course one of the more recent ones I've been seeing a little bit here. This might lead into talking more about Sick Mutt. But one of the more recent ones I've seen is, correct me if I'm wrong when it comes to their name, Itchy and Boom Boom.
Yes, that's correct.
I love them.
Yes. Once again, what inspired these characters for you?
Okay, so I really, 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 really like 90s click and point games.
Oh, okay.
Like that's something I really like. Mainly UFOs, Creature Crunch, and I like the Stupid Invaders game.
Yes.
There's more. Like Trusty actually introduced me to one called Armed and Delirious that I want to look into.
Ooh, okay.
There's more, but yeah, I love that like aesthetic and art style and like everything about it. So they're kind of like, I kind of made them as if they were going to be in a game like that, but they're also their color palettes are inspired by clip art. I really like eye bleeding colors.
Oh my god, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Goodness. And I know, what was it, recently I saw like a little like 3-second animation or whatnot that, if I remember the tag correctly, was inspired by a voice line that Lum actually did.
Yes.
Which I just have to say, like, it's incredible to see the animation, but I wanted to hear the voice so badly. Oh my god, I wanted to hear the clip.
I can do it right now.
Yeah, you can do it.
It was the thing with the what's it? The audio is actually based on a post Marino did of like a short comic with them.
Okay.
So and I was thinking like, oh, what can I do for this voice? And so once again, bringing my main inspiration to this, I remembered that Itchy kind of looks like Chicken from Cow and Chicken.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh, what if I just did his voice and be like, Boom Boom, we're gonna go fight off the invasive species in order to get man out of this island because I, Itchy, the god, am the number one ruler of this island. You know? Thank you
so much. That was wonderful. Ah, yes. Okay, now seeing the clip that went along with it. Oh, that's once again, chef's kiss. Oh man, it just gets me so excited. Like, especially seeing all these different characters and all these the different ways that you've been able to have some fun with them more than anything else. Like, this is probably gonna be one of the toughest questions I ask when it comes to this episode of the podcast. But is there a personal favorite character that you just love to animate?
Oh, animate. Thingamabob is actually very easy to animate, but I think my favorite. Ooh, I think my favorite would be Floral, actually.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? Yes. I get that. I totally understand that. Is there one that, I guess it's not animate, then how about just drawing, like just the design or the character or whatnot? Is there a personal favorite that you have among those?
I doodle Smokey a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's all over my sketchbooks. He's really fun to play with.
There you go.
Like all the expressions, I just think it's funny.
And
Doodles are very, very funny.
and Lum, I always have to ask, you've had a chance to get to voice a few of these characters here and there. Is there a character that Marino has done that you personally love, whether you love voicing them or just the character themselves?
I would have to say my personal favorite at the moment is probably Dippy and Buttface.
Okay.
I like their design so much. Like, there's some stuff we're working on that's really, really funny with them. And I really, really like. And I like voicing Buttface in general because he reminds me a lot of myself, to be honest.
Okay.
And I really just like him. And I just like seeing anything that Marino crocs up with them.
Again, I've only got you guys have me anxious and excited, especially for what you guys are both working on together. So let's talk about the big thing, the big reason why we're here. You guys have joined forces to create Sick Mutt. What made you guys decide to work together and truly come up with animation? Like, what was more or less the ultimate deciding, like, we have to do this, we have to make this?
I think it's because I have like all these ideas and like separate projects, but it would be kind of fun, kind of quirky if they're all under like the same name or brand.
Okay.
So it kind of made sense in that case. And also just I'm gonna kind of freaking veer off here, but with Sick Mutt we're planning to do like, of course, our own projects, but we also want to like give spotlight to really, really small indie artists that need animation for their projects because, you know, industry moment.
Yeah. I was gonna say, no need to say no more. The industry, man. Does anyone else feel warm from everything burning around them?
Yes.
Oh goodness, not, but like it's incredible the fact that you're actually like going forth and like trying to make like full-fledged projects with this stuff, because I mean, you know, just with the years of art that we've been able to see and the excitement that I'm already getting from both of you, like just being able to talk about this stuff, like I want to hear from both of you when it comes to this one. Like it has to be exciting to know that like you're going forth and actually making this a reality more than anything else.
Yeah. There's some like NDA stuff I'm not really allowed to go into detail, but I would just say,
obviously, fair enough.
yeah, I would just say, in the future, you should watch out for us. You should
Watch out for
keep an eye on what we're working.
Watch out
for whatever crazy kooky
crap we cook out sometime in the future.
All right, Marino might be under an NDA. Lum, are you under an NDA, or can you talk openly about this stuff?
I don't know. I was never put under an NDA. I'm pretty sure we could talk about the thing we working on right now, and we posted on our Twitter. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, we can. Yeah, we can talk about like our projects, just not like contact stuff.
Right,
yeah, for sure.
Right. Well, I mean, the floor is yours. Go all in. I'm ready to hear it. I'm excited.
Lum.
So the thing we're working on right now is you may have seen it on our Twitter, but it's of an ice cream guy, and it's being directed and partially animated by one of our friends, Dorky.
Okay.
Dorkymations, please also get on this podcast too. He's a very great animator. And support Under Hunters. Under Hunters is going to be the next big thing, I tell you. But another person we also really helped with the process is Weasley, aka I don't know if I could say his real name, but I was gonna say Weasley. He's also a very good animator. He's also a very good artist, and he helped us a lot with forming Sick Mutt. More like with the overall general like forming, like, okay, this is what we need to do, like, you know, being the real, essentially, if me and Marino are essentially like the crazed lunatics in the nut house, and Weasley is essentially the guard that puts us away and makes us think, okay, this is what we need to do. He's a really great animator. He's just a really great guy. It's his birthday today, so I want to give him a shout out.
Shout out to
Weasley.
Even though this episode's coming out like a week and a half later after we record this, but happy belated birthday to them.
Happy belated birthday, Weasley! But he's also directing the ice cream short, and we also have a lot of other great talented people like Juice Man and who else do we have on
Trusty
board?
is part of us.
Yeah.
Too.
Ooh, Trusty, there you go.
Trusty is also a big part of helping us out, and not to mention like all the numerous followers we have on Twitter and just the people who like to see the crazy stuff me and Marino like to do, and we we really want Sick Mutt to not only just be a evolution. We don't want Sick Mutt to just be like another animation studio getting started on the internet. We want Sick Mutt to really be something more and make people happy. That's really what Sick Mutt is all about, is just making people happy and remember. I don't want to claim nostalgia, but it makes people like, I guess, reminisce about like the good days of animation. Like before, the whole industry was turning to this way, or how certain projects were canned because of this merger, or how these cartoons are being represented because of diversity problems. We want Sick Mutt to essentially be a way like comfort food for animation. We want
comfort
it to be
food that still breaks the whatever the expression
breaks the mold.
is. Yeah,
it's essentially really outstanding comfort food is what we want Sick Mutt to be. Just good animation, good storylines, funny characters, and just making people feel good.
There you go.
Yes.
I mean, that's like just, again, the excitement you two are having for this, and just like the way that you guys are just going all out for this. Like, it's already incredible. Though I just have to note, you talk about like high level like comfort food or whatnot. Nothing quite says comfort food like the name Sick Mutt. I just gotta say,
and our mascot is named Barfo.
He sounds like the cat.
What inspired the name? I just have to ask right off the bat.
I thought it would. I remember when Lum and I started this idea. I literally was like, wouldn't it be funny if this dog like vomits all the time?
And they were like, oh, that'd be
Barfo.
Yeah, that's funny. Make it the mascot. And so we just kind of went from there.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's a good humble beginning more than anything else. No, but like again, like just hearing what little bit is out there, what you guys are currently working on right now, you don't understand how excited I am for this stuff. Like just that one single like couple second teaser you had alone, and knowing like the pedigree that is going into this or whatnot, like it just I'm just excited to see what you guys have, and like whether it be short term or long term, I have to ask, what should the fans expect from Sick Mutt?
So most of our stuff is going to be adult oriented. That doesn't mean like sex and drugs, but like, mature audience.
No minors allowed.
But so we're working on the ice cream one right now, and then but I have some things in store for the future. Let me tell you what. I think I'm really excited for the future. I think we'll get somewhere.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be freaking epic.
Yes.
Good. Like I expect. Well, I'm not gonna say I expect because I'm just one person, but I am certainly excited for what you guys are gonna be pushing out there, and like just even thinking back. For both of you guys, like thinking how far you both have been able to come along so far, the stuff you've been able to have a hand in, and the incredible people you've been able to meet and really develop like a niche little community for right off the bat. Does it amaze you how far you both have come along in your art journey?
Ooh, Lum, you can go first.
I think I'm pretty humbled that I get to be part and be working with someone as talented as Marino, because to be honest, I may be a co-founder, but Marino was really the main brain of the operation. Mm-hmm. We always joke about how we share the same brain, how we take turns every Tuesday. But I really do think it was because of Marino that I really started to branch myself out as an artist and really feel comfortable with my craft. And I really have to just thank, in gratitude, Marino and a lot of the people who support Sick Mutt and helped us along the way, and even, I don't want to be clingy, but even you for helping us through this journey. And we really are excited for the future and what we can hopefully make to make people smile.
There you go. Marino, would you like to add to that as well?
I think Lum worded it perfectly. Yeah, I don't have much to say. I'm really excited for the future, and I have So I got accepted to an art college, but I'm taking a year off, so I kind of have time for this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're
so I
really
can put
going all
all
in
my
on this.
yeah.
Well, good. I'm happy to hear that love and excitement. Like, just knowing how genuine it is more than anything else from both of you, like just being able to talk to you both today, like again, it just makes me excited for what you guys got going on next. I'm probably as excited, if not more than you guys at this point. I know that
I'm glad you're excited though.
I know it might seem tough, but you know what? I'm gonna give you both a run for your money. Trust me. Well, for this next question, if I may, how about I give you more or less. We go a little bit above and beyond when it comes to, like, you both are excited for what the future may hold. So why don't I just give you both more or less like the dream future, if I may? Because I want to give you both more or less the dream scenario. Let's say I am Big Shot Mr. Moneybags. I come up to you and I'm like, look, Sick Mutt is absolutely sick what you both are being able to do, and we know that like just what little bit is out there, you can produce some incredible stuff. You just need a little extra push, if I may. We have access to anyone and everyone in the industry, and more money than there should be possible. We probably could be buying all of these canceled projects and making our own streaming service. We'll focus on that later. Right now, we are focusing on you two and you two alone. If given this opportunity, what would be the dream Sick Mutt project?
Oh, that's a hard question. I think I'd like to see like more adult animated movies.
Okay.
And if we were given like loads of cash, I think both of us would spend most of it on like voice actors we like, because we kind of already have like really good animators.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is like my dream mode going on, but I would love to have like a physical studio.
There you go.
Like that's just, yeah, it's so appealing. It's so appealing to me. Like I want like a neon sign of Barfo.
And every time you open, every 400th person who opens the door, you actually get puked on by a dog. It's
That's why there's probably gonna be a lot of remote working with that studio, huh?
It's okay. It's only every 400 times. But wait, if I could say make a dream Sick Mutt project, I have many different projects that I would want to do with Sick Mutt, knowing what we could do, and just like one of my main goals is that like, okay, I don't know, I'm really obsessed. I used to be really obsessed with Walter Lance's creations like Woody Woodpecker and all that jazz, and I had noticed recently how, I don't want to say sanitized Woody has been, but he's been very like neutered. And so one of my dream projects would be a sort of Woody Woodpecker revival, like in the form of Looney Tunes cartoons, the new ones, or Paul Rudish Mickey, done by Sick Mutt, and we get like, Eric Bauza and Billy West. We get all these like wonderful people to voice Woody Woodpecker, and he's like really mean and ugly. He's great.
Love. That reminds me. I for some reason like already existing characters were out of my mind. But if one of my dream projects is either a Noid show, because there is gonna be a Noid show, but it got canceled for some reasons,
Mm-hmm.
or a McDonald Land show, or a Balloonatics reboot.
There you go. Funny enough, I was gonna say I actually recently listened to a podcast. Shout out Ridiculous History. They actually went in depth about like the Ronald McDonald as a mascot, but like McDonald's Land or whatnot. Essentially, like those commercials or whatnot, we're basically just like animated shows that was just selling products to kids, selling burgers to kids or whatnot, and that's part of the reason why McDonald's got into some like hot water, and they never made like a McDonald's Land show, even though there was like what was it I forget the name, the people behind Rugrats,
Rocky Adventures,
Rocky Event. But I was gonna say also, but like the people that were behind like Rugrats or whatnot, I forget what the studio is called, but they made like there you go. They made like a couple of like Ronald McDonald in McDonald's Land like animated shorts that you could have on VHS. I remember distinctly having at least one or two of those growing up and watching them over and over again.
Yes, I have most of the VHS tapes. That reminded me, that was the reason why the Noid show was canceled, because I found some like concept art that had gone up on eBay like a long time ago, but it was canceled because like I think CBS or something was like worried that like kids wouldn't be able to tell what they're being advertised to. But I think this was mentioned in the article, but I think that it wouldn't be like Domino's show hour. I think it would be mostly about the Noid and like his adventures,
Right.
separate from Domino's.
The Noid's crazy.
But I'm very biased.
You know what, to be fair, like I was almost disappointed when you didn't mention Noid like being the first thing up at whenever I said the dream scenario, because I expected that to be just like that. Forever we are known as Noid Studios. Forget everything else that we're doing at Sick Mutt.
Yeah, I forgot, but I definitely want to do that. Like, cause I have ideas for it. I have freaking ideas for it.
I can tell you have ideas for it, and I would certainly be excited. And I mean, a sponsorship from Domino's, and hopefully we can at least get free pizza at the end. So I think it'd be a good deal more than anything else.
It'd be very good.
There you go. But sadly, we gotta get down from the dream scenario. We gotta get back to reality, and I'll ask the ever so generic question: where do you guys hope to see yourselves, say, 5 to 10 years from now?
I kind of like to continue with Sick Mutt. Like I said how I got accepted to college, so I'm going there next year. But I don't do well in school systems, so I'm not really looking forward to it. Yeah, so I would really like to get Sick Mutt off the ground and be able to live off of that, even though it's very, very difficult. Because I'm like 19 and I still live with my parents.
Hey, that's fair.
What about you, Lum?
Yeah, very valid.
But Lum, would you like to go now?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I'm sorry. I'm interrupting you more than anything else. That's why I'm trying to do that.
I would ideally want to be still with Sick Mutt 5 to 10 years from now. Maybe we have like our own studio or something. I'm still trying to balance like college and more important matters, but I still really want to dedicate time to Sick Mutt and what we can do in the future. I really do actually want to hone in my drawing skills and be able to draw as good and animate as good as Marino.
There you go.
And be able to be more involved with the projects other than voice acting and sometimes writing.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome to be able to be as much, to involve yourself and to really immerse yourself as much as this is possible. Because I can already tell that you have a love and appreciation for all of this stuff, and that again, like it's incredible knowing that like what's going into this and going into Sick Mutt and whatever project they may produce or whatnot. I know there's going to be a quality project at the end of the day because you guys have a lot of love and appreciation for this stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be incredible to see what you guys produce.
Yeah,
thank you. I think we're off to a good start with the ice cream short.
There you go. As we start to wind down the interview, I just have one last question I want to ask. Obviously, you both are deeply entrenched in art in one aspect or another, whether it be the animation, the cartoons, the Noid, voice acting, whatever it may be. How important is art, not just for you, but for the world as a whole?
I'll go first. I don't think people seem to realize how much like art is literally everything. It's in what you consume. It's in freaking buildings because there's an art that goes into that. There's art in everything is what I'm saying. So I think more people should appreciate art, but people have different interests, so it's understandable. But I very much gravitate towards people that can fully realize what art does for us.
There you go. And Lum, how about yourself?
I think art is just good at making people feel, I don't know, like different than, because art, I always think of art as like a portal to another world or like inside of the person. So even if like you watch like a stupid cartoon or if you look at a big beautiful piece of art, you get to really know about that person and get to like feel what sort of like deranged little world they live in, I guess. And I think that's why art is so important, is because it connects us not only spiritually, but it connects us more in a way that I don't think just like general conversation or even just like relationships can do. It really, I don't know, it tells you about a person in a way that can't be replicable.
Well, Well, there you go. Those are both wonderfully worded thoughts, if I do say so myself. That's all the questions I have for both of you. I've already showered you with a whole bunch of praise, but I want to shower you with a little bit more because it's my podcast. I do whatever I want.
Oh, you.
Oh, me. I will be blunt right off the bat and say that, Marino, you were you were someone that I had definitely loved and admired your art for years, and you were someone that I definitely wanted to talk to, and I appreciate like the art you've been able to produce more than anything else. And whenever you told me that you wanted Lum to be on the podcast, like I was more than happy, especially knowing the stuff that is being processed with Sick Mutt, knowing that was really becoming a thing, and knowing the stuff that is going into that, being able to really go do a deep dive with both your guys' stuff and see the art and see the voice acting you guys have had a hand in or whatnot. It's incredible, once again, like knowing that there is a lot of love and passion going into Sick Mutt more than anything else. Again, to listen to both you, having you both get to talk about what you guys are being able to produce, just Sick Mutt, just in general, like just the stuff that's going into that. I was already like excited knowing like what was basically brewing, but being able to hear you guys like really show a lot of love and passion for what's gonna be happening next, like I will argue that I will probably be the biggest fan outside of your studio if possible. I will fight people with how incredible the stuff could possibly be, because again, like knowing the art you've been able to produce, Marino, and knowing the love and passion and the incredible voices you're able to do, Lum, to be able to really bring these characters to life and truly provide a fun, entertaining experience for whoever may be involved. It makes me love and appreciate what you guys are doing. Thank you for going all in with this. Thank you for being able to take the time to try to make this a true thing, because I am rooting for you guys all the way. I want to see this thing exceed 20-fold more than anything else, because I just know that there can be some incredible stuff and a lot of love to go into this. So the long and the short of it, more than anything else, is thank you guys for going forth with this, and I sincerely hope you guys get the opportunity to showcase what you're able to do.
Thank you so much. That like actually means a lot. Like I can really tell you have like a big respect and appreciation for like indie animation and stuff. So knowing that you are looking forward to what we're gonna do it's really motivating.
I'm just being 100% honest with both of you. That's all I'm trying to do at the end of the day.
Thank you so much again, and for like having us on, like inviting us. That was
absolutely.
I've only been like listening to your podcast for a short time, but like I think what appealed to me was that you got like small artists to go, like, because I wanted to do that too with Sick Mutt.
Hey, it's one of those, like, for me at the end of the day, like art can be absolutely incredible. Art can do incredible and wonderful things, and I feel like more people need to have that opportunity to have that art being showcased more than anything else. That's the foundation of this podcast more than anything else. Trying to give incredible artists, no matter how big or small they are, the platform that I feel like they deserve, because they are producing incredible stuff. And that goes for both of you.
I admire that a lot.
Once again, thank you guys both. For those who might be curious, I want to try to find a way to try to be the #1 fan before I have to fight them. Go ahead and plug yourself for the people at home.
Okay, follow freaking Sick Mutt on Twitter. It's Sick Mutt and then TW.
All in capital letters, except for TW.
Yes, and we're making a website, so look out for that too.
We're also making merch, so also buy that up as well.
Oh, you let me know when. You let me know when that's going up. I'll be one of the first people to buy.
Look, so since you invited us to the Badon, if you're comfortable with sharing a mailing address, I can hook you up with some free merch.
You don't have to do that. I mean, I'll give the address, but you don't have to do that.
I will ship it to you no matter what.
Fine. If you insist, fine. And obviously, I imagine you guys want them to follow yourselves individually on Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. And if you want, I can make sure to link all that stuff in the description below. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, so on Instagram, my new account is Zappinator. And then on Twitter, it's Bunga Wife, and that's a dumb name because I wasn't expecting people to follow, but it's too late to change. And what about you, Lum?
My Instagram is InvaderLum.png, all lowercase, with a dot after PNG. My Twitter is capital I Invader, capital L Lum, all capitals PNG. For those professional people out there, I have my voice reel in case you're hiring.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well plug myself now. But also just kind of follow Marino and follow this podcast because these are great people. These are great artists.
Yes.
Support local indie artists right now.
That's wonderful plugs. I already plug myself enough when it comes to the podcast. I have links down below, but I'm sure you guys will find. As you're listening to the podcast, I'm sure you'll find some way to follow the podcast. I'm sure you'll find it. It's little niche places here and there or whatnot. Do you both have any final words before we sign off?
Thank you again times 3. I think this is a good opportunity, and I like what you're doing. So, freak match. That's all I have to say.
I appreciate.
Also, Noid sweep.
Noid sweep. And what about yourself, or Lum?
Thank you very much for having me on, both Marino and yourself. I really do appreciate what you're doing and spotlighting local artists. And, I really hope that you have a wonderful future ahead of you. I hope you get a lot more artists on here and basically just hopefully, I don't know, spread awareness because indie artists definitely need
spread the love.
Spread the love.
The peace and love.
There you go.
Spread the peace and love. Indie artists need all that they can get now and just, still, I don't know, get indie artists recognized so they can get jobs.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
And also for my final words, hold on. I wrote this down somewhere. Wait. Hold on. I have to check my Steve Irwin drawer. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Chowder is a good show. Watch Chowder now, please.
Yes.
I've been hyperfixated on it for like 3 days.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
And also the Woody Woodpecker cartoons aren't as bad as people say they are. Just don't watch anything after 1950 and you're good. Those are my final words.
And with that, all I have left to say is for the people at home, hasta luego, mi amigos. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If this is your first time listening, I greatly appreciate you sticking around, and I sincerely hope you enjoyed. The energy that these two brought for this episode was exactly the energy that I needed. Jesus Christ, Marino, you two, good lord. Like, if the energy you brought in that interview is the energy you're going to be bringing to just about whatever animated short you guys are going to be providing, I am all for it. And I certainly cannot wait. How you guys doing? Doing well? Been an interesting week for you guys? It's been an interesting week for me. With certain issues I've been having with stuff, it's got me thinking about the future of this podcast. And I nothing serious. I'm not like quitting or anything like that. But the one thing that I have been thinking of doing, the one thing I really want to do more than anything else is I want to get the opportunity to get out there and like travel and see you guys, see the guests, meet some of the fans, like just get an opportunity to really get out there. There's been so many incredible people that I've gotten to meet in one way or another, whether it be guests that I have directly met or people that I've met because of people that have been on the podcast. And there's just so many of you guys doing incredible stuff. And at some point, like, I want to get out of this dinky little, room that I keep myself into all the time. And I want to get out there and see you guys. I said this on Twitter, but at some point, like, the first big thing I want to do is I want to do, like, a road trip of some sort. I would love to go up to, like, mainly Philly, Jersey, New York. Those three right there. There are so many of you guys that I've met just in that general area, and I can't guarantee I meet all of you, but, like, come on. I know that I can have, like, a good time, like, for just, like, a week and meet as many of you as possible. I've also been thinking about a certain event in, I think, Ohio or something like that. I don't know. I know that a couple of good friends are going to be getting together for it, but that's, like, way out in the future. That's I can't even think about that, or I can, but no. Now, there's just so much I want to do with you guys. Like, the community that I have built digitally, I want to have that reassurance that I know that, like, physically it's there, you know? Or at least at some point I want to be able to prove that, like, this podcast could be, like, a physical interview space style podcast instead of it being all digital. Nothing against the digital. Obviously, without the digital, I would not have met even half of the artists that I've been able to. But, you know, like, I want to, at some point, I want to have, like, a studio. At some point, I want to be able to provide people the opportunity to come on in, and we have just a nice, cool, casual vibe that way, you know? I think it'd be fun. But if I'm going to do that, one, I gotta start making money off of this. Which is why I'm highly recommending you guys go to the Patreon or to the merch shop if possible. But, no. So, the main thing is, I want to know... First thing I want to do is I want to actually, like, get out there. I want to meet you guys. I want to meet you all. You all have been so wonderful, and without each and every single one of you guys, I wouldn't be where I am. So, if it is possible, if you can find some way to help me get to that point, I would greatly appreciate it. And by that, just continue showing the support you guys have. Whether it be promoting the podcast where you can, or financially backing it with, you know, merch and stuff like that. Yeah, that'd be wonderful. But, you know, I can't bank on that alone. Obviously, I have to pull the work on my end as well. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. Because without the work I've put in already, I wouldn't be where I am. Getting so close to 100. And I got something big planned for you guys. Just got to stay tuned for that one.